Alright, this is a very quick video. Well, not really. It's like 13 minutes long. This is the new Live in the PU 3.22.1 Idris event, where you have to capture the Idris. It is either crewed by CIG employees or by AI. In this case, I believe this one is by AI, judging by the AI on board. So you get the mission. It's best if you party up and with Salty Mike and a bunch of other people like Void Dude. So you know you got a solid crew going into this, because look at what I'm flying. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just hanging back, waiting to see what'll happen. But you need a coordinated group. You need to be on voice comms, and you need to be in a party. This way, you know who to shoot once you arrive at the scene, or make entry into the ship once it's stopped. Obviously, this is a... what do they call it? It's a PvE... VP... PPE... whatever. You're facing NPCs and you're facing other players. So you want to be able to distinguish between the good guys and the bad guys, who's on your team and who's not. Obviously, also a little challenging with the party marker issue that is still persisting. So just check your targets. This is a clusterfuck. Once the people who know what they're doing get the shields down and the ship stops, you're gonna approach. You're gonna find that probably 3 to 5 people have already rammed a ship into the back of this thing through the open hangar door. As far as I know, that is the only way to get on board from the outside. I know there are side airlock doors that you can use to, throw dead bodies out, clean up the place a bit once you've taken control, and remove markers to lessen the chance of your crew being found if you're the ones in control of the ship. Yeah, there we go. I just saw one over my stabilizer there. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me hop out here real quick. Come on, come on. I'm reliving it with you. It's actually a really fun event. And I don't do anything in space. All my stuff's on the ground. That's where I feel comfortable. I have no skills in the air. Nothing to do with dogfighting. So this is pretty interesting. I do like that they added another shipboarding mission, and I do like that it has a dynamic element for those people who love to PvP. And this also includes the element that us ground pounders like, to be able to board a ship and take control. Now, you see what I was talking about with all the wreckage? Because everybody's just parking back here like this is the last helicopter out of Saigon. So again, you're dealing with the current EVA system, not the new one that's being shown lately in ISC and SCL. So just be careful trying to approach, and then of course you have to try to get by all of these wrecks. Now, if you're going to board this ship, if you are going to participate in this event, do not wear the armor of the enemy. You're gonna get shot, and you're gonna feel dumb, because this is a huge challenge to get aboard. It looked easy here, but as the video goes on, you'll start to realize just how involved it is to stay on board and stay in control. Because remember, everybody else is vying for this thing as well, and it's a global marker once you take that mission. So no matter where you go, other players will be able to quantum to you. Now, pro tip, all the enemy seems to be dressed like these guys. So, if you show up wearing one of these goofy horn helmets, you're going to be a target of nearly every Tom, Dick, and Mary in the ship. So just be careful with that. Pick something a little less, obvious to shoot at. I would recommend, in hindsight, definitely bring a multi-tool. Definitely bring, if you can, one of those larger tractor beams. Especially if you're part of a group, which you're going to be part of a group. I don't see how to do this solo, really, without getting iced in the face. but you're going to want to move a lot of this shit out of the way so that your teammates can get in. And your teammates, including maybe even yourself, are going to fall out at some point. Probably like a 30% chance you're going to find one of those magical holes in the floor to Narnia, and you're going to find yourself on the outside of the ship. So getting back in, and you'll see that later in the video. Hold on, let me cover this real quick. I don't know who that is. It looks like an NPC, but somehow I got a crime stat. Oh well. Once you're on the ship, nothing matters. No one's going to come hunt your bounty because they're going to be knocking on the door of this giant frigate. So the idea, I don't know the full details of the event, but I think the idea is you control the bridge, and then if you hold the ship for a certain amount of time, or you're in the pilot seat for a certain amount of time, you get an Idris from CIG. Don't quote me on that. I would double check that. Either way, that's probably the least of the concerns you should have. It's mainly just figuring out where to go and how to survive. I kind of went rogue here. In my mind, we were only initially competing against just AI, and that was a fatal mistake, as you'll see in a moment. In my mind, all the players were rushing to take down, you know, like any other mission against NPCs. And then judging by all the NPCs in there, I'm like, oh, okay. There's no humans except for us. We're the victors here. Then I walked in, see this dead body, didn't take a warning, didn't even shoot. For all the times I shoot, I had no reaction there. I just ran away and got dead. So after reviving the hospital, now I'm trying to chase the Idris here, which is very frustrating because they're trying to keep moving. Well, I cut out that I don't know, 10, 15-minute sequence where it's just me quantum hopping, trying to match them. And I'm not in voice comms with them. I didn't join Salty Mike's Discord. Like an idiot, I'm just typing in chat. So take my advice. If you can be in a voice channel with the people in your party, whoever happens to be running that voice chat, whoever server it is, definitely make an effort to hop in there, get your mics and headsets all set up so you can communicate. So this is second attempt to go back in. And what I mentioned about the wreckage, bringing a tractor beam, delegate this task to one or two of your party members. If you have security locked down on the ship, if you've gotten rid of anybody else on there, any other aggressors, move some stuff out of the way. Yes, it will make it easier for other people to board, including the enemy, but you want to have as many of your friends on the ship as possible if and when they fall out, and somebody's going to fall out. This was very frustrating, especially considering that these guys, and I wish I had the voice chatter from the Discord, but they are about to jump. They just keep doing these quantum hops, which is a great strategy. And they're about to leave. I don't know if I'm in the ship enough to survive the quantum jump. And you know how Star Citizen is. You can be seated, motionless, and the game will decide to just, not today, and just throw you out the back. So just be careful walking around, and I say be careful without any sort of context to prevent you from being in danger of falling through the ship. I don't know necessarily where the safe spot the step is, so just do your best. But just be aware and don't get frustrated if you do bounce out the bottom, because it definitely is frustrating. These are those airlocks I was talking about. They're tossing the bodies out. I don't know if those can be opened from the outside once the ship has its shields down. If those have to be shot, like the rear door. Actually, I'm not even sure if they shot the rear door or if they were just able to open it. My assumption is they shot it, just like if you're not in a party with someone, you'd have to shoot the door. This is the med bay. I'm looking for a bed that I can maybe set a respawn in, like an 890 jump or a Carrick. So that I check to see if I could lay in the morgue bed there. Probably foreshadowing my future demise. But just a really spectacular event. Really high octane. The server performance was phenomenal. I imagine they had to spin up, I don't know, 5 more data centers to get this thing to run, or shut down some other servers. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. I'm just talking smack here, but really, really fun. And there we go. So just be careful not to think heavy thoughts. Now, I got lucky on this one. Or no, this is the one that... Oh no, I made it back in on this one. Okay. I'd say that's your that's your biggest threat. And your biggest threat is really boarding. I mean, you're in this really tough ship. People started crashing into the ship, kamikaze style. That didn't really have an effect on things. The ship's a tank, and it's going to take a lot of damage. I don't initially know how the shields went down. I don't know if that's by design or what the characteristics are of the ship or even any of the fighters that attacked it. So I'm just spitballing. But you can take some hits. It would be best to keep moving because that's the best option you have. If the enemy doesn't have a chance to engage you, if the enemy doesn't have a chance to try to breach the ship, to have a boarding party sent over, that is your best opportunity to maintain control of the ship and integrity of the security. I would do what these guys all did. Remove these pieces of debris, I'm telling you. Because look, Voidy's trying to get on, and it's a pain in the ass with all this stuff in the way. Obviously, there's going to be some things you can't move, and maybe that's for the best with, I don't know why I know that doesn't work, but trying anything at this point. Yes, look at how... I mean, maybe this will be easier with EVA 3.23 or whatever is coming in the future, but it is a huge pain in the butt in the current system, just as you imagined it would be. Except now you're in a time crunch, you don't know who's coming behind you, and the ship's going to want to move. Really, the only area you need to hold is the bridge. So once you get up there, that area in the beginning that I walked in and didn't heed the warning of the dead body on the floor, you want to just have as many people up there as possible. No one needs to be anywhere else. If they can't take the bridge, they cannot take the ship. So set up some interlocking fields of fire just to cover those doors up there. Sit tight, have plenty of ammunition. If you got to take a break to hydrate or eat food or whatever, have someone replace you on the line. And just keep a watchful eye. As long as you keep the ship moving, I think those guys still have it, and it's been well over an hour, I think. So, good luck. The other thing I will say is that this doesn't seem to spin up multiple missions across servers. It appears right now, and I was a part of this one. This was the second one of the day, it seems. The first one had CIG devs. It seems like the mission is only on one server at a time. So maybe the strategy would be to spread out people on your friends list or in a party to kind of sit with servers. The original indication was a bunch of CIG tagged people joining the server, but if it's mostly going to be, and I'm assuming it's mostly going to be AI run Idrises, then I would just spread out amongst the server, play the game as you normally would until you see that Idris War Game mission pop up top. But it's really fun. I'm glad they did this, and it's amazing that the server is doing so well during this. So have fun.